Maryland's Missing and the Murdered is a weekly YouTube channel that covers the topic of missing and or murdered individuals from the state of Maryland. If you like this channel, please like and subscribe and click the bell so you'll be notified when the next cases are released. Any updates to cases will be pinned in the comments section of each video.
On March 10th, 2023, a fight between a married couple, 47-year-old Nancianne Houston, and her husband, 58-year-old Dr. James Houston, caused Nancianne to file for a restraining order, and then a week later, Nancianne filed for divorce. In the middle of this was their 10-year-old daughter and a bitter custody battle. Friends stated that James wanted to reconcile, however, Nancianne had moved on. The divorce had become nasty as well and involved millions of dollars in assets. Nancianne worked for a pharmaceutical company, and Dr. Houston was a pain management doctor for MedStar Health. On August 9th, 2024, in Edgewater, Maryland, James Houston called 911 stating that he and his wife had gotten into an argument and had stabbed one another. He stated that he and his wife were doing taxes and it evolved into chaos. Authorities arrived to find James, quote, draped over, end quote, Nancianne in a, quote, large pool of blood, end quote, with a knife stuck in the center of her chest. Nancianne was deceased, and James was flew to shock trauma and required surgery for superficial wounds to his left arm, abdomen, and scalp. Nancianne's autopsy revealed slash wounds to her thigh, leg, and foot, stab wounds to her arm, hand, and chest, facial bruising, and her chest had a sharp, deep wound causing liver and heart damage. Her dress had 11 tears to the front of it. James wasn't charged and arrested until a month later. He was charged with first-degree murder and use of a deadly weapon. Nancianne's family wasted no time in filing a wrongful death lawsuit and accused John of luring her to his apartment under false pretenses with the intent of killing her. Nancianne's sister Amelia took custody of their daughter. The court blocked James from controlling his assets after he was found scheming in prison calls to move all his assets to a foreign bank so Nancianne's family would not be able to seize them. A neighbor told prosecutors handling the case that James previously told them that Nancianne had used a knife on him previously. Detectives advised the prosecution that the witness's story wasn't relayed to them immediately, but only until the first interview. The judge removed the prosecutor from the case due to withholding that evidence. The state required the case to be halted so they would have more time to evaluate the dismissal of prosecutor Ann Lites. On June 4th, 2025, she was ruled by Maryland's appellate court to no longer be the case's prosecutor. I did a case search recently which stated that this case is open per Maryland Supreme Court for appeal. I will keep you updated on this case in the comment section. Thank you for joining me this week. If there's a Maryland's Missing or Murdered case you'd like to see on this channel, email me at marylandsmissing@gmail.com. My X account is Maryland's M&M. Music is by Silent Vengeance. Sources will be listed in the outro. I'll see you again next week. Be kind to one another. You never know what will happen tomorrow.